Love isn't supposed to end in betrayal. It should be warm embraces after long days, whispered confessions under soft moonlight, and passion that never fades. At least, that's what I believed before the night everything shattered. Sophia was my world. From the moment we met, she made every second feel electric. Her laugh was music, her touch a silent promise, her love unshakable. Or so I thought. That evening, I left work early, eager to surprise her. A bouquet of fresh lilies, her favorite, sat in the passenger seat. A reservation at the restaurant where we had our first date waited for us. I even wrote a note, simple but heartfelt. For the love of my life, because forever still isn't enough time with you. Excitement pulsed through me as I pulled into our driveway. But then, confusion. A sleek black sedan, one I didn't recognize, was parked near the garage. Maybe a friend? A coworker? My mind tried to reason, but unease crept in. Something felt wrong. Stepping inside, I noticed two things immediately. The scent of unfamiliar cologne, musky, strong. And silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the charged, expectant kind. Then I heard it. Soft laughter. A low, sultry moan. Footsteps shifting above me. I stood frozen, disbelief warring with dread. My heart pounded so violently it hurt. My mind screamed no, no, no. But my gut already knew the truth. I forced myself forward, each step heavier than the last. The bedroom door was slightly ajar, candlelight flickering inside. Shadows moved, a silhouette of bodies entwined. A strangled breath escaped me, but I didn't stop. I had to see it, had to face whatever horror awaited. Pushing the door open, reality crashed down like a hammer. Sophia, my wife, lay beneath another man. Her nails raked down his back, breathy moans spilling from her lips, pleasure written across her flushed face. They were lost in each other, oblivious. Then she saw me. Time slowed as her eyes locked onto mine. Shock, guilt, panic. She shoved him away, scrambling for the sheets, voice breaking. Ethan! The man, caught mid-act, twisted toward me, his expression shifting from pleasure to alarm. He lunged for his discarded pants, muttering, "Shit." A firestorm of emotions raged inside me. Anger, heartbreak, betrayal, disgust. My hands curled into fists, every instinct screaming for action. But what could I do? Beat him to a pulp? Scream at Sophia? Would it change anything? Silence was my weapon. I turned and walked away. "Ethan, please!" she cried, feet hitting the floor as she chased after me. I kept going. Down the stairs. Out the door. My car, my escape, waited. "Ethan, let me explain." Desperation clung to her voice. It wasn't. The slam of my car door cut her off. Engine roaring to life, I didn't spare her a glance. Tires screeched against the pavement. My world had collapsed, and I wanted nothing but distance between me and the ruins. That night I disappeared. The city pulsed with life, yet I felt utterly dead inside. I had nowhere to go, no plan, just an overwhelming need to escape. My car became a lifeline, carrying me through neon-lit streets, past crowded bars, past lovers holding hands, past everything I no longer believed in. I parked outside a cheap motel, the kind where broken people sought temporary refuge. The flickering sign buzzed overhead as I paid for a room with cash, avoiding eye contact with the bored receptionist. Inside, the walls reeked of cigarette smoke, the bed stiff beneath me. But none of it mattered. I wasn't looking for comfort. I wanted numbness. Sleep didn't come. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her, Sophia, tangled in another man's arms, lost in the passion that should have been ours. Her voice haunted me, that desperate, "Ethan, please!" looping in my head like a cruel joke. I needed an escape. The bar across the street called to me, its dim glow promising distraction. I stepped inside, greeted by the scent of whiskey and regret. A live band played in the corner, slow and soulful, a melody that scraped against my raw nerve. I took a seat at the counter. Whiskey. Neat. The bartender, a grizzled man with tired eyes, nodded and poured. I downed the first glass without hesitation, savoring the burn. Rough night, a voice mused beside me. I turned. She was stunning, long legs crossed, a cigarette poised between crimson lips, dark eyes full of knowing. A woman who had seen things, survived things. Lilith, she introduced herself, offering a smirk. Ethan. She studied me, then leaned closer. Let me guess. Wife cheated. My stomach clenched. Lucky guess. She exhaled smoke, lips curling. I've seen that look before. I should have ignored her, should have walked away. But her presence was magnetic, and I was a ship wrecked in her tide. We drank together, talked in half-truths and unspoken pain. She never asked for details, and I never offered them. But in her gaze I saw understanding. Hours passed in a blur. At some point, she placed a hand on my knee, her touch light but deliberate. Come with me. I should have said no. Instead, I followed her. Her apartment was small, the air scented with vanilla and something darker. She pressed me against the door, fingers tracing the outline of my jaw. This is a bad idea, I murmured. She smirked. Then stop me. I didn't. Our lips crashed together, her kiss tasting like whiskey and sin. Clothes hit the floor, urgency replacing thought. My hands roamed, claiming, taking, desperate to erase Sophia's betrayal from my skin. Lilith didn't love me. She didn't whisper promises of forever. But that night, she made me forget. And for the first time since my world shattered, I let myself drown in something other than pain. You said. Morning light cut through the blinds, casting golden streaks across Lilith's bare skin. She slept beside me, tangled in sheets, her breath slow and steady. For a brief moment, I let myself exist in that silence. No past, no betrayal, no Sophia. Just the soft rhythm of another human's presence. But reality never stays buried for long. My phone, dead for hours, buzzed the second I plugged it in. Missed calls. Voicemails. Texts. Sophia, Ethan, please. We need to talk. Sophia, I made a mistake. I swear, it wasn't what it looked like. Sophia, where are you? I'm scared. I miss you. Sophia, you're being cruel. Just answer me. The last message, sent at 3 a.m., hit differently. Sophia, I don't know how to live without you. I scoffed, rubbing a hand down my face. Should have thought about that before fucking someone else. Lilith stirred, dark lashes fluttering open. Regrets already? I shook my head. No regrets. Good. She stretched, unbothered, and slipped out of bed. I don't do clingy. A sharp contrast to Sophia, who was now drowning in regret, desperate for answers. I didn't owe her anything, but part of me wanted her to suffer, to feel the loss, the emptiness, the helplessness I had felt. Instead of responding, I tossed my phone aside and watched Lilith move around her apartment, completely at ease in her own skin. You're not going back to her, are you? She asked casually, pouring herself coffee. She destroyed us. Lilith smirked. Then let her burn. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But Sophia had always been the storm I couldn't escape. I didn't go home. Instead, I disappeared into routine, work, gym, empty hotel rooms, nights with Lilith. She never asked for more and I never offered. It was simple. A transaction of loneliness. Then, 2 weeks after I walked away, Sophia found me. I stepped out of my office to find her waiting by my car, her usually perfect appearance shattered. Hair unkempt, eyes red-rimmed, shoulders slumped. Ethan. I froze. The air between us crackled with tension. What do you want? Tears welled up, but I felt nothing. I was stupid. Drunk. It was a mistake. Please, don't let that one night erase everything we built. I laughed, cold hollow. One night. She swallowed. I swear. I never stopped loving you. Anger flared. You stopped the moment you let another man inside you. She flinched. I was lonely. You were always working. Don't you dare blame me, I snapped. She reached for my hand. Please. I'll do anything. Just don't leave me. I stared at her, at the wreckage of the woman I once loved. And I realized I already had. You said. Sophia's hand trembled as it reached for mine, but I didn't move. I let her fingers hover in the empty space between us, a perfect metaphor for what we had become. You already lost me, I said, voice steady. Tears spilled down her cheeks, her perfect mask crumbling. Ethan, please. I'll do anything. Just tell me what to do. I should have felt satisfaction. Revenge should have tasted sweet. But looking at her, broken, desperate, pleading, I felt nothing but exhaustion. You can't fix this, I said. You made a choice. Now live with it. She shook her head violently, grabbing my arm like she could physically hold on to the past. No. You're my husband. We promised forever. I pried her fingers off. You broke that promise first. Her face twisted in agony. It was one mistake. I stepped back. No, Sophia. It was the moment you decided I wasn't enough. She collapsed against my car, sobbing. I turned and walked away, each step lighter than the last. That night, I met Lilith at the bar. She greeted me with a smirk, sliding a drink my way. Did you finally bury the ghost? I took a sip. Yeah. Good. She leaned in, dark eyes glinting. So what now? I thought about it. About Sophia, about everything I had lost, and everything I had gained. I met Lilith's gaze and smirked. Now I live.